I'm really trying to use Blue Sky more, but it
It's
just
OG Twitter. It's OG Twitter, man. It's great.
It is getting there. It gets there.
I need the madness that Twitter has. All right.
No, you see,
You're not
Until I
gonna get it. You're not gonna get it there.
Aaron, you don't get. This is the thing. You're feeding the beast, you fool. Don't feed the
Oh
beast.
no, I feed off his tweets. It's great fun.
Oh yeah, no, that's the problem. So you just something different
Like
comparison.
I open Twitter in the morning and there's a fucking trail. I'm like, yay!
Oh, you saw the argument that I had with your man last night. Yeah, it was funny. Fuck him.
That was great, man. Oh, I love it.
You can take the man out of the forum, but you can't take the fucking forum out of the man, can you?
No.
Jesus Christ.
So this game is very big on shapes. I'm saying,
It's like a good shape. Good
Well,
shape.
oh,
But it's more to the
shit.
fact that whoever made
Illuminati
it-
confirmed. Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah.
What's happening?
And Aaron, you are correct.
Huh.
Oh, sorry. Alien.
Until they go back to the hometown, the aliens was like, lads, who blew the fucking hole in the sidewall? All you need to do is push this. Dickheads.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pay a lot of money in damages.
Yeah.
I hope this alien race hasn't discovered insurance.
So fucking pissed off their premium going up. And now it is a crystal hurtling towards Earth.
No, it actually got.
Oh, what's the thing that Superman, the Phantom Zone? Is that what it's
Yeah, Phantom Zone, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, bad guys. Just on side there going.
Okay.
Kneel before Brink.
Turns out he was the plant all along. Fucking Germans.
I feel like someone turned me inside out twice.
It's a little difficult to move
Oh,
now.
more gravity.
Yes.
Because we've got gravity. Planet-type gravity. We're not inside the asteroid anymore. And the pressure is equalized. There's an atmosphere.
Can we breathe it?
Oh, go on. Take your helmet off.
Our suits are checking that automatically. Here we are. Yes, it's at least as breathable as the air in LA.
So no.
Of course, there's
Not
always
quite,
the danger
but-
of airborne infectious agents.
I don't think so. Alien microbes should be no threat to us. They have not evolved to make use of our cell structures.
The oxygen in our suits
He knows a
won't
bit
last
too
long.
much for my liking.
Again, he's a xenoarchaeologist.
I
He
say we
kind of
take
knows his
off and
stuff.
save the remaining oxygen for the return trip.
If there is a
And there's a reason why he's on this mission.
Not the first time I've been suspicious of a Brink.
Yes.
Yeah, tastes good.
Surprise, surprise. Attila was a spaceship all along.
A starship, faster than light. We're not in our own solar system. No planet but Earth has an atmosphere like this, and this ain't Earth.
After so many years of bad TV shows and crackpots with phony pictures. Here is the
It was
real
Earth all along.
There is
Yes.
alien life.
Load a cockpit.
Bear in mind, like, Brink did send like a coded message to NASA before they went further down into the rock.
Way out of range.
I don't see any aliens coming to greet us.
Mind
For all we
Basaka.
know, it might have been a million years since these people
What the
settled
Wan-Bissaka do?
and they
What the
long
fuck
since
happened?
died out.
It's 2-0
But I
Crystal
didn't
Palace
pack a
against
lunch.
Newcastle.
Or a can
Okay.
of pop.
2-0 West Ham
Might
against
as well
Newcastle.
look around.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Aaron, can you stop scratching your
Might
balls
be
there?
here a while.
It's my leg, actually.
Yeah,
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 don't-
yeah, okay. Leg.
The thumbnail says otherwise, Aaron.
Just the thumbnail, just me going.
How are you doing, Brink?
You
Clip
mean
that.
apart from being trapped on
Clip
an
that,
alien
John.
planet,
Clip
Rex is
that.
filling
no
yourself.
idea of how to get back?
How are you doing, Brink?
You mean apart from being trapped on an alien planet with no idea of how to get back?
Cannibalism. Yay.
This is a pretty desolate place.
Yes, now let's start
Whoever
eating
once
people.
lived here, I think they are long since
Oh,
gone.
what about actually, because of the space stuff, they are bringing back the Orville from the season. It's
Undisturbed
getting filmed in
except by our
January.
own feet.
We're finally able to bring it back. Just after they finish the second season of Ted. So
Nice.
Seth MacFarlane, a very busy boy at the moment. Very busy boy.
He feels like keeping himself busy, doesn't he? It's almost like he writes for a
You
living.
know what? To be
doing
fair,
Oh,
when he
I'm
left
fine.
when he
This
left
is the greatest story of my life. The only trouble
Family
is,
Guy,
I have no way of telling it to anybody.
What did he leave?
When he only just comes in and voices it now. He hasn't written
Desolate
Family
as
Guy in
the
about 10 years.
Midwest.
Maybe
Almost as
15 years at
desolate
this
as the
point.
Midwest.
Surprised he's still going if he's not fucking writing it.
It is.
Toto, I don't think
It
we're in
took a dip
Kansas
because I only rewatched it all recently. It does
If
take a
only
dip
I
at
had
some
ruby
point,
slippers.
but somewhere just before
Thanks.
2020, it picked back up again and has been
Brent.
consistently some of the best cartoon out of
Can you
television I've
make
watched
any sense of what
ever.
you see here?
It is
A
very
good
funny.
archaeologist doesn't expect
Does
to make
Quagmire
sense of
have a
things
wife
until
now or
he's been
something?
digging at a site for years.
I don't know.
don't
At least from the
have
last time I
enough.
watched. That was the most
Maybe
recent.
years
That was
are all we
literally the
have.
first episode of the new season, the Halloween episode. So,
Thanks.
Right, now let's get moving.
for him leaving to kind of fuck off and do Millie
Where are
with
you
doing the
going,
rest,
though?
which was
I was gonna check
a
the
bit
water.
shit. Ted 1,
Or
which is
somewhere.
fantastic. Ted 2, which is a bit shit. And then
I think
finally
we should
finding
remain
that groove
together.
with the series Ted,
Fine.
and you have
Follow
fucking
me.
the Orville,
This
which has
is
been
no longer a
3
spaced expedition.
consistently good seasons of television.
Though. This is an archaeological dig.
Fair fucked.
Therefore,
And also
I
just
am
being
the
generally
obvious
just
leader.
doesn't seem to be a weirdo. But that
Whenever
time
we
when he
need to
was
dig
going on with
something
Amanda
up,
Bynes when
you
it was
can
15
use the
years
shovel.
gap, we get over
In the
that.
meantime, our first
Generally
business
seems to
is
be
to
all.
survive. Our second task is to get home. We need to work together, and I'm still the commander
My
of this
hope is
mission.
ours. I don't want to come back here and like,
I don't know any more about surviving.
Boston is
I
right.
love to be that there on an awkward silence,
He's the one
just in
with
case he's
spirit and
cancelled by the time
survival.
this gets out.
We need
Just,
something
Yeah.
just in
This
case.
is no time for a foolish power struggle.
Let me check. Let me
Alright,
check.
I agree.
No, seems to be fine.
As of the 25th of November. Okay, so now we're on this alien planet. Basically, we're just in this like massive area, and some random shit's on the map. So, how far did the pixels go?
Very Lion King here.
Yeah, this is where the hyenas come out and start laughing at you.
This is where like fucking
Fantastic.
Whoopi
Look.
Goldberg gets her groove back.
Exactly, yeah. Look.
More proof of alien life.
Or the last
Do you think
humans that
there's
landed there.
Anything
Hmm.
alive?
Doesn't look like a human
See,
ship,
someone
does it?
had to have been here.
Let's hope they're peaceful. Or gone.
So, one thing to throw in here about the actual intended like use of the game. So, obviously, Boston Lowe is the main character, but the actual intended purpose was for there to be multiple playable characters.
This alien
That's why
technology
everyone
is
has their own skill set.
Grand Theft Auto kind of GTA
Yeah.
5, I think. Oh, okay.
A little bit, yeah. So the whole idea was that basically, like Boston Lowe being the military man would be the actual survivalist. So he'd be able to hunt food, gather supplies, and then basically, provide for the other two members of the team. Maggie, being the linguistics expert, would be the puzzle solver, and actual that sort of stuff, degree to it. And then Brink would be of a similar kind of function as well. So, like, say all three people could look at a certain predicament and have three different solutions to it. That was the whole concept to it. Now, the fun fact is actually there was meant to be another character thrown into this as well as part of the expedition, and I believe he was meant to be like a Japanese kind of businessman, like a sort of a. We were only slagging him off earlier on, but he kind of screams like a bit of a Jeff Bezos type, of like basically he's the one that's funding the entire project, and his way of actually say getting his way is that he's part of the landing crew. So yes, the version of the production was more similar to release game, but it contained one extra character, a Japanese businessman, his hobbyist named Toshi Olema, who uses money to buy his way onto the Attila project crew. Toshi would meet a gruesome death when he stumbled into a cavern with acid dripping from the ceiling, and the other astronauts would have been unable to safely retrieve his body and bring him back to Earth.
Something comes down on our heads.
Obviously, this character got cut in the midway through production. Oh, hello.
It's the genie.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was the literal first content, and both of you fuckers missed it.
It's Sorry, I was looking at Wan-Bissaka's goals. That's great goal.
Mathematical
Did you know?
progression
Did you know?
can
Like,
evoke
do you not think the
complex
ethereal
solutions.
sounds is a bit of a
Next
giveaway
time
that
I
something might be
suggest
happening on
pulling
screen?
I seen it.
No,
I
I'm
seen the
glad you
genie
did.
and the
What
thing
could
that
that
fell
have
from
been?
him.
Yes.
Well, I
Random
can't
electrical
really hear it
discharge.
properly because
Maybe
he
it's a
fucking
kind
was
of
like,
computer
someone's
score.
coming at me
Maybe
thing.
to the aliens
So
who
like,
piloted this
that's
ship,
what
it
you get.
conveyed some meaningful information. But to me, it means absolutely nothing.
But yes, Dave did successfully spot that something dropped from the ghost.
Did any
Took
of
a
you
shit.
see?
With someone.
Was this here
That
before
was
that thing
took a
appeared?
shit. Just,
Of
yes,
course
some
it
contacts
was.
that was
You
stuck
think
there
an
for a
electrical
while.
field can
Thank
carry
you
a
for that.
solid
Oh.
object?
I went.
The relief.
It's been in there for a good 2,000 years. Thank God.
It's a rod, engraved.
As per your previous email, Aaron, it was a rod with 5 shapes on it.
Fucking
Come
again
on.
with the shapes.
I don't know how we could have missed that when we
Yeah,
first walked
it's
in.
shapes.
It's
Right.
beautiful.
I'm assuming there was
I
one
can't
fella in the
determine
development
what
of this
it's
game
made
going,
from.
that's gotta have shapes.
Okay, so
Lads, you know that children's toy
Well,
where
I
you
don't
put
see
the
any
square
treasure,
through the hole and all.
but there is
Let's make it
something
like
here.
that.
well,
When we
let
get
me
back,
consider it
the
this way,
engineers are gonna have a field day trying
right?
to
Let me
figure
just
out
blow
how
your
this
fucking
works.
minds.
Oh,
Aren't letters inherently shapes?
Some kind
Well,
of
Jonathan, if you want to go with
device.
that logic,
I have
everything
no
is
clue what it
technically
might
a
be.
shape.
Yes, it is.
Everything, we are just one big shape. We
like
live on a
Aaron
shape.
is a potato with a head and arms
It's
and legs,
indicating to the right.
and Jonathan is a tall man with an egg for a head, and I have an egg for a head. And I,
You're a small man with an
Do you
egg for a
think it was
head, yeah.
trying to get one of
You're a
us
smaller
right?
egg, I am
don't
big
know.
egg, and Aaron is
Collaboration seems like a good word for
potato,
it.
Aaron.
Mr. Potato Head.
I'm
Stature is bulky.
As Peter Griffin says
What
in
was
one
that
episode of
apparition?
Family Guy, I am in
Ah,
shape.
So
rather than
much to
age.
learn and not a single piece of instrumentation.
But the thing is, right? So like,
Thanks.
so I'll approach it to you this way, right? We're used to letters and numbers being our means of communication. That's what we base our entire civilization on, and different languages.
Everything depends on it, really. You know.
Everything
And
depends
these
on
guys
it. Yeah.
depend on shapes. So
Yes. So their communication is shapes, is different types of patterns, different type of like actual arrangements. Like essentially, what we did was we basically formed a triangle to get into the access. So, is triangle yes, no, enter? What does it mean?
oh, okay.
It's indicating to the left of me.
This is what. So now I can actually say outright that this game is like a very in-depth puzzle game. As you may expect of something of a point-and-click game, it's not an action-oriented game whatsoever. It is all puzzles.
It's indicating to the left.
And again, works on this kind of premise of xenoarchaeology, where you're basically trying to figure out. Mhm.
What was the thing in the 80s and 90s when it came to puzzle games? Like, I know drugs were big in the 80s. A lot of cocaine taken in the 80s. A lot of Pablo stuff.
Yeah.
All along the east coast of America. But why did they just stop doing puzzles? What was
Because the reason, and the very simple reason is because it's challenging and it takes time. See, the biggest thing about it is that like games like could be made like a dime a dozen up to a certain degree, but what the actual art form was trying to be able to get the longevity in a game through.
It's indicating to
Like,
the right.
there's only so much game you can program and code into, say, a floppy disk of like X amount of space. Let's say what's on a floppy disk? 25 megabytes, thereabouts, right? So there's only so much you can do on one floppy disk, and there's only so much you can program in. And some of those games, while it could be really short and sweet, are done in an hour or two. And your costs are now starting to go up. You now want to try and make more money. You want to try and be more sustainable, and you want to actually try and profit from all this. So now you're thinking, okay, the technology's starting to improve here. I can now jump from doing a text interface and start using some more visual language and start using some new technological things like MIDI sound and a visual interface, or even shockingly full motion video. And that starts spiraling. People start having ideas and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be interesting if you had say a house of puzzles, and the game length is based on how well you can solve all these puzzles in that time.
Okay.
So if you're really good at solving puzzles, it might take an hour or two, and that's a really sweet experience and good for you. But if you're finding a difficulty, it could take you 6 or 7 hours. You know what I mean? So so now it's a case of you're now actually getting more value for your game because you're throwing in a puzzle. One of the earliest puzzle games was The Seventh Guest,
I'm
And
not an archaeologist.
I played it
These look like
myself.
bones to
It's
me.
kind of an interesting little experiment in video games because
But they are
it's
not
also one of the
lying where
first
animals
games to
died.
use full motion video.
They were placed here.
And
Markers.
what's really interesting about it is that when they were
Agreed.
when they were creating the game
Yes.
itself,
Now a home for those
acted out all
rat-like
these things,
things.
and that's why it was called the Seventh Guest. You are the point of view of a seventh person in his house. All these other six people are trying to solve the puzzle at the same time. It's like a bit of a competition, and you basically
This is
figure
light,
out
but
the
it
puzzles
feels
from
as
there.
strong as steel.
The problem was though, when they exported everything to the game engine that they were using, they realized they fucked up the blue
Someone's
screening.
looking at me.
So everyone became
Something's
transparent, which meant that their entire premise was shot because everyone looked like
It looks
ghosts.
like something is
A
buried.
bunch from the, it was like Anchorman 2 brick when he realizes that he's got a green screen behind him, but he wears a green pants and he's like, can't see my legs, Ron.
Yeah, it was actually kind of akin to that. So everyone kind of had this kind of
You just want
translucent
to dig
quality
right
to
in?
it.
Yeah.
So instead of like basically
Shovel.
canceling like
We'll destroy
production
the
and
site.
going, okay, that's not going to work.
I'm not
What they
doing
did was they
archaeology.
readapted the story. They
I'm looking
they
for
chopped
something
and
to help get us
they
home.
cut away all the things that
Your
they
name will
used
live forever.
that you could argue,
as a
okay, these are actually the
bald-headed
ghosts
space
of
hero
guests
who
previous.
destroyed precious
Like there's
data
someone's
at
running
the
down a
first
corridor,
alien
chased by
archaeological
somebody.
site.
A little boy
That's
here,
better
and he's
than
being
having my name
like
live forever.
run away,
As the
like
commander
haunted
of
by
an
a
expedition
clown or
that
some sort of
disappeared
stuff
and
like
was
that.
never heard
Or
from
this
again.
like
Now get out of
this
the way
fancy
so I
old
can help
couple
break.
being like all nice and dandy, but they
might
speak
take
with
a
like New
while.
Orleans accents, so you could have a bit of plausible deniability there from a different time area. So like, that's a really clever way of getting around it. But the puzzles were still there; they're still created for the intended purpose of not in stretching out the
Fine
game time,
accomplishment,
but to actually
Commander.
be a
Now we
challenge.
have a pile of
You know,
meaningless dirt and bones.
Because very well,
You
the
never
other
know when
like
really
outright
will
challenge
return
in a
useful.
game, especially in the point and click era, is a maze. And if you've ever played a Sierra game, there's almost a maze, almost mandatory in the design.
What do you
And the
think?
only reason they do that is to
Is this
pad
the
out the
skull of a
gameplay
sentient
experience, to
being?
stretch out the
Or
game.
a pet? Or a beast of
Right.
burden?
I
So-
don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's
And in fairness, like it's again, like I said, it is always a kind of a it's just like people like humans like puzzles. Like we like the brain is like trained to like to want to accept the challenge and see if it can do it.
Whatever
Like
creature
that's
these
just the way it
bunglers
is.
could be, I don't think we've got anything like it on Earth.
So this like I say like the dig is kind of like taking in terms of like what kind of puzzle game it is. It's kind of taking its notes off Myst, where Myst you're basically just plonked on an island and you have absolutely no point of reference bar some diary excerpts, some kind of like ramblings of this like whoever was here last, and basically whatever else you can find. And essentially on the dig, you're just
Do you think
basically
we
trying
can
to
find
figure
this
out
slope?
where you are, what you're doing, and how do you open things up.
No use. It doesn't go up.
Which is
overnight.
generally how most humans get through life anyway.
on
I
this
think.
wall. Are they writing?
Oh,
or
well,
decoration?
what am I doing? How do I open this?
You're asking us.
Yeah. But like the whole mandate is essentially you're trying to get. But now you're
Yeah.
here, you might as well explore this alien planet. And what you're learning is from the first 3 places you've located, one you found a graveyard, one you found a crashed spaceship, and the other one appears to be another burial site. So it looks like this alien planet hasn't been inhabited in a really, really long time.
With that device pointing at this mound, I suspect there might be something buried
Oh.
here.
How scientific of
Something
you,
took
Commander.
us to this place.
Yes, so that blue thing that we found in the case is the same. It looks to be like a detector for something.
Okay.
Another random hole bulldozed by our fearless leader.
Maybe not. I thought I saw something shining. An artifact.
It looks like a bracelet.
So apparently that
Wouldn't mind wearing it, but
that
it's too
bracelet
small for
was
my
what
waist.
our little compass
This
was
artifact is very
aiming
delicate.
for.
It looks like it may be useful as well as ornamental.
Nothing but dirt. It's pointing at me.
So that's also proof there that now that we have the bracelet, that's the intended purpose of that device is to try and find that, which is very bespoke to be honest. But however,
Oh,
just
the ghost again. There's Robin Williams just popping out of
I
nowhere.
think we can safely say this is not a natural weather phenomenon.
How about
You didn't pay me for this part, but I did it anyway. Bye.
Being a mirage?
It knew we
What
were
about Jim
here.
Carrey earlier
It was
about
trying
like
to
being,
tell us
you know,
something.
getting kind of
Or show us something.
pigeonholed into just like roles?
Don't be
because
too
of-
quick to anthropomorphize.
Mm.
How do we know
but
what life
you
looks
have to
like
admire
here?
the fact that he went into
It might be
the
alive. Or it might be some
Oh,
kind of
fucking
automatic
Spyro.
guidance
Not
system.
Spyro.
We
Sonic.
triggered it in that
Sonic.
ruined ship, and now it's leading
And
us.
You mean this is
Just
the last gasp of a
owned two
holographic tour
movies.
guide?
And the
Or
writers
Port
went,
Authority.
I know you're retired.
Maybe it's
Do you
telling
want
us
to
we're
play
under
yourself?
arrest. Come quietly,
Twice.
or self-aiming lasers will toast us to cinders in
I only
15
originally
seconds.
watched the first Sonic
Stop
movie
it.
because Jim Carrey
Maybe
was
you
just
can
going to
think
be like,
that's funny, but the
old
last
Jim
thing
Carrey.
I
I'm
need
like,
is some
this is a
mischievous
good
boy
fucking
trying to
movie.
give me the
And the
creeps.
second one came out, and he
If I
got a
wanted
little
to
bit
give
madder,
you
and I
the
was like, that's
creeps,
fucking
I'd tell
brilliant.
you that it was
I
the
remember
ghost of a long
baiting
dead
me in with
alien.
two more Jim Carreys, where he plays
How do you
himself,
know it isn't a
Dr.
ghost?
Robotnik, and Dr. Robotnik's father.
What? You think this is where aliens end up when they
So-
die? If it is, then this place
Also,
better be hell,
when it
because
comes
sure
when it comes to
isn't
video
my
game
idea of
adaptations,
heaven.
this could be
Now
the
you're
most
starting to
perfect
give
trilogy
me
I've
the
ever seen
creeps.
for video game adaptations. Ever. This is.
Has anyone watched the Super Mario film? Is that any good?
It's supposed to be all right.